Hey friends, welcome back to World Drum Club. I'm Kalani Dawson. I'm going to share with you some footage from my recent trip to China, where I was going over there and doing a little bit of consulting, a little bit of sightseeing, visiting with friends, checking out the scene. And I want to share this couple days I had there with you because I found this really interesting program. It's a business, and what they do is this gentleman, he's a musician, and he designed one club or restaurant, so like a restaurant that has music, so let's call it a club. He designed this one place about 15 years ago, and he designed it because he wanted to have a place where he could play in his band and have bands and have food and drinks, and he did that, and then it worked so well that he decided to franchise it or replicate it, and today, about 15 years later, his business has hundreds of restaurants, bars, nightclubs, about 8 or 9 different types, different brands that are all franchised all across China. And he employs thousands of musicians that they actually train in their own school. They have their own music school, and they train musicians and bands to go out and play in all these different kinds of restaurant clubs, right? And I'm going to show you footage from one of them, which is the one I was in. It's called Hoteli, and it's a Southern Chinese-style food restaurant, and they feature acoustic music, kind of singer-songwriter. I mean, it's pop music, but it's not like electric band, big drum set thing. So from a drummer's perspective, what they've been trying to do is tone it down a little bit, use cajones, a little snare drum, little cymbal, some shakers. And I actually consulted with them a few years ago to train some of their drummers to use a smaller setup, like a percussion setup. So I'm going to show you some footage from the restaurant, which was amazing. It's beautiful. And then I'm going to take you into the music school portion and into their business offices a little bit and show you around, because it's just amazing. So they train all the musicians that they then put out into the restaurant. So here's a introduction, and this is when I met them, when I first arrived at their facility. There it is, the throne, the guitar throne that everybody's been fighting for. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Music.
Hi, I'm Kalani.
Hi. All over China.
All over China.
Yeah.
All the different.
Our brands like include Soho Club, True Color, Chang KTV, Hoteli Restaurant, Zakap, like coffee, and Fun Club, Pai Joy Restaurant, 90 Plus,
90家
Restaurant, and Shiwai Izakaya.
Do they all have music or?
Yeah.
Wow. And now we're going to walk through some of the office spaces and see what they're doing in terms of programs. And they have some nice programs. They do some outreach to underserved children and trying to bring them music and other resources. So this is documenting some charity work. This organization visits remote villages and works with the children and creates opportunities for them to learn music. They have these devices too, this thing, and the kids can have lessons, like ukulele lessons, and learn how to play and sing. One of the things they do, in addition to providing the whole restaurant design, staffing it, the whole menu, and all the music, is they actually provide all of the drinks, including curating massive amounts of wine and other things. So this was in the wine room. So we're in the wine room, and this is where all the wine for the restaurants is kind of sampled, displayed, and they're curating, searching out, finding the wines from all around the world, and then all of these can go into the restaurants, except this one. So I'm taking this one home with me. Oh. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. So now let's go to the restaurant and have a look. I actually ate there the other night, and I sat in. Of course, they wanted me to come up and play a little bit. So here's a look at that.
Singing my song.
让你温暖我心中的伤。Sing my song, sing my song， 当你跳出歌声，就像个幻想。天气有点冷，现在给你放下你看的麻烦，跟我说爱吧。你看你有没有勇气拿出你的主人？
掌声欢迎我们老师好吗？
So here's a little tour of the school part, and it's not just a school, it's actually a fully functioning record label, production company. They've got a new thing they're doing now called C-pop, which is basically K-pop or J-pop, which if you don't know what that means, it's basically a Chinese boy band that they're starting off and producing. I tried to get in. I'm going to try to get in next time I get over there. I think they should add me. Not just boy bands, but man bands. It's time for man bands. Come on. Do you think my picture will be up here someday?
Sure. No,
Are you lying?
I'm not good at lying.
So now we're in one of the rehearsal studios where they're practicing music for just for the Tiger Band or all bands?
Live band.
Live
Live
bands.
band.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the live bands. Okay, so they have a practice area, drum set over here, and then small rooms like for guitar or bass. Yeah, and then something happening back here, but nobody knows.
Same.
Oh, same as that. Okay. All right, and then there's a booth here, I guess, like production
Yeah.
这个是制作吗？
Production and keyboard.
and keyboards. Okay. Yeah, because it's important to keep the keyboardists separated from everyone else. So they were nice enough to let me invade one of their recording sessions. We're going to see a little bit of that, and then I'm going to take you guys around the hallways. They have practice rooms. They have rehearsal studios. These guys are serious. They're learning how to sing, play all the instruments. They've got singers. And what they do is they send out musicians to all of their restaurants, and it's not just pop music. It's DJs, it's rock, it's jazz, all kinds of stuff. And they're working at a pretty high level. It's really solid. So they're employing musicians, training people, which I think is great. All right, we just got swiped in. We're gonna go in and listen or see what's happening in here.
不需要遗留，你却还是这座发烫的伤口，愈合了没有？失控的我，写词给你的红，不需要借口，爱淡了放手，你给过的温柔像匕首，一刀一刀的划过悲伤慢慢渗透。
I just wanted to say that the singer we just heard has about 5 million fans on TikTok. She's getting kind of famous. So I figure if I start now, I could probably have like 3 or 4 fans by the afternoon. But I have to start posting some videos, so maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. I got a long way to go. Okay, so these are the practice rooms. Lots of. Hey, somebody's not practicing. Hey, somebody else is not practicing.
他说没有人在那个练习，现在。
They need to be.
对，他们现在在上课。
They are having the lesson.
Oh, okay. A DJ booth. Okay.
他们在排练节目部已经有过演出。
You guys are going to be on my YouTube channel, World Drum Club in China.
现在就是他说。
Should we check to see how these guys are doing? Does anybody want to play anything and get some feedback?
那随便玩吧。
Volunteer.
Somebody? Yeah.
有没有人是
Want to
来
just play something and then we can see? So that was good. I think for Cajon, because you guys are emulating kind of like a little drum set, right? Kind of like a drum set type sound. Maybe you can tighten up the sound a little. You were playing in kind of an open style, like
就你们打的时候太过放开了，谢谢。
yeah, which is fine.
这个也是可以的。
But then also, and maybe you already do this. I don't know. I'm just gonna suggest it. You can sometimes you can
就是你们打的时候要收一点，不用太。
you can if you want. You can like tighten it up a little bit. So if it's mic'd,
就
then
是
it's gonna be a little cleaner.
就是收一点紧一点，打的时候它会更清楚那个声音，就不会太空。
对，打得更。
Okay, so maybe just I'm telling this to everybody, all the drummers I meet. We all need to practice a lot with a metronome, like either with music or just actually with a simple beat, simple metronome. Just very clean and just try to practice all your rhythms. Yeah, with that simple beat. The first thing is the rhythm has to be really solid, right? Really steady, which means everybody has to practice with the metronome and be able to keep a steady rhythm. Yeah. The second thing is what we call the feel or the groove, or you can think of it as micro timing, right? Which is like the feel, right? The style, which makes it musical. All right, I hope you enjoyed that look. I think it's amazing success story that this musician, keyboard player, started off with one location because he wanted to play music and have a place for him to play and, you know, and his friends to play, get together, started a business, replicated that business, and added a whole bunch of other franchise models. And now, if you have money and you want to open a restaurant, it's a turnkey solution. You can just start up your own franchise. They provide everything from top to bottom. I mean, you basically are an instant owner of a really cool nightclub, restaurant. And for the, you know, for the people working, they get to work in a nice environment and make money and make music. Leave your comments below. I'm Kalani Das. This is World Drum Club, and this has been a look at some of what's going on in China. Thanks for watching.